Hey, my name is Patrice Mason. I am from Fort Washington, Maryland. I am a finance officer with the government as well as a photographer on the side. I'm a part of the Prepare to Be Pursued 12-month program, and I've been here since February of 2024. Well, I've been a widow for about coming up at the time almost 10 years, and I had joined some dating apps between 2014 and 2023, and to no avail. Like people say all the time, the dating scene is some trash. It's pee in the water. But it was just different feeling and desire for me. I didn't want to really date. I brought up in the mindset of I'm very traditional, and guys are supposed to approach, and guys that I may have been interested in or attracted to or felt that could have been something, they didn't approach. And so I was of that mindset, and I just kind of gave up in a sense. Also, with the mindset of being a widow, didn't think that anyone would want want to be with me. And actually, in February, February 2024, I ended up having to make another life-changing decision in having a hysterectomy. And so during recovery, it was very interesting because I had just had a talk with God. I think I'm ready to do this thing and have love again and figure it out, but didn't know what to do really, right? And so I was in recovery, and it was funny because Make Room for Boaz challenge just popped up on my Facebook page, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Being a Christian, we know the stories of Boaz, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. Let's just see, what this is about. And taking that challenge and learning and hearing Nikki talk about having to be an active participant and the steps that actual Ruth took, not just Boaz was dropped out the sky. It was very interesting, and then having the opportunity to join and become a part of Prepare to Be Pursued, I was like, why not? And I'm gonna tell you, to be honest, I was even in that conversation, I was so hesitant and nervous and like, what are you doing? But insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And I knew that something else had to change. And so that was my reason for actually joining, and hoping that, at the end, my initial goal is to have the opportunity to have a second chance at love and partnership and commitment, and via long-term relationship or marriage. So currently, I am at the milestone of emotional authority and attracting, understanding that my feelings are valid and not negating them, being more aware of them, but also being able to manage them, and knowing what to do with them, and using my who I am, my allure factors, just using who I am to be able to attract the man that is compatible and suitable for me. Man, like, even when I just think from the beginning, I would say off the break that I have accomplished being more confident in who I am and in my decision making skills. I have been able to identify really what it is that I want, what will be best for Patrice, and acknowledging that it's okay to not want something, because it's a preference. It's my preference. It's not what somebody else desires or want, because I'm a recovering people pleaser, and I believe, like, all of my life, pretty much all of my life, I've done, and I'm not saying that I've been perfect, because I have done my dirt, but a lot of things, I was a good girl, and I've done things to please others, regardless of my feelings and how I felt about a thing, or even if it was to harm me, it was always people pleasing. And so I think one of my biggest accomplishments here, and being prepared to be pursued, is one, acknowledging what it is that I really, really want. What is that I want, not what has been in my head because somebody else came up with it. And being able to not only write it down, but to voice it if I needed to at times. And being confident in that and setting those boundaries and the standard for myself. That's been one of the major big accomplishments, I think. Also, being able to enforce the boundary. If I felt like, just literally just recently, I had a conversation with someone, and I knew off the break it's not something that I desired and wanted, and being able to politely say that and or express it, not necessarily say it to him, but express it, and understanding and recognizing like this is not going to work for me, opposed to going along with it because it's something that I would have done in the past because of my fear of being alone. I would have settled. And so that's another major accomplishment that I feel, and being more vulnerable. That is a major win for me because I am a very, 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 very private person. And when it comes to sharing who I am in my life, it used to be a challenge, it used to be a struggle. And so I think being in that space and being a part of the program has helped. And that is a win for me. That is what I am most proud of, that I am still showing up and that I am still here. And I say that because I've never been a quitter and a person that throws in the towel when it comes to other people. But when it comes to myself, or when it had come to myself, if it got hard, too hard, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. So I am proud that I am still here for whatever my motivation was for still being here. I'm still here. Um, the most challenging part was staying. And I say that because I went through there was a couple of modules that I think it was module 3 where I was rediscovering my lore for setting the boundaries and having to focus on myself. Like I stated before, I'm a recovering people pleaser, and so I'm always, or I had always been self-sacrificing, whether it was to my detriment or not. And so trying to just rediscover who I am and what my life means right now. That was the major challenge for me being in this program, is staying, like, because those were two modules that really, 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 really challenged me. And it was crazy because I mentioned before my status, and I turned 45 during this program as well. And so I felt like at one point I was having a midlife crisis. I didn't know where the heck my life was going and what I'm doing, and so it was in life was life, and as it does, right? But it was just so much, and so that was the major challenge for me. Each part has tremendously been a major blessing to me. It's unbelievable. So I'll start with the modules. At first, when I told you, I got stuck on module 3 and 4, and I appreciate the fact that they are self-paced. They assisted in the sense that it gave me more information and insight into whatever the topic was, but it also made me really take time to think about me, because it really isn't about anybody else. And so the modules themselves, and it brought out so much. Like, I know that I used to be a person that tried to avoid certain areas of my life, certain things about myself, and the modules themselves made me have to sit there and really think about what it is. And then the private coaching, man, the coaches are the best. Kaylee, Nikki, Terry, the best. But the private coaching, that's really kind of what kept me going at the moments and the times that I wanted to quit. Just the support from my coach and coaches, all of them really, but just the support and the reaching out to make sure that I'm good and to see where I am. That, sometimes one of my fears is being alone. And even, I don't know, a lot of times I used to feel as though I could be in a room full of people and still feel like I am here by myself. And so I am doing life by myself. And to have that support of the private coaching sessions and to be able to talk through where I wanted to go and what I was feeling as it relates to preparing to be pursued, it really, the coaching sessions really helped. And then there's the weekly questions and answers, which, hey man, society, the thing people don't want to feel like is, like I said earlier, is that they're doing something by themselves or they're in a situation alone. And although we are doing this individually, to have the support of the other ladies, having the ability to be able to ask questions and get like answers during the weekly sessions, and not only that, but hearing the questions and the insight and suggestions after it from other people, understanding that, hey, you know what, I feel that way too. That's what the weekly and the group sessions, it's like I'm not in this by myself. We're kind of all, on the same path, although individually. So they really help to continue to push and motivate me to want to continue, and knowing that the goal is attainable. Everybody on this journey, and some folks' journey is shorter and others is longer, but at the end of the day, we're here together. And so every part of that really, really helped. Having that ability to even having the suggestions and things to think about and changing up the mindset. Having Nikki and Kaylee, as coaches and dealing with for me, the emotional authority, right? Being able to just identifying really what it is that I'm feeling and acknowledging it. There's a book out called Yes and understanding that I'm a very black and white person. That's just kind of my makeup. It's either all or nothing a lot of times, and learning that I can have an emotion and a feeling and be moving forward. Two things can be true at one time. It's not an either or. And so, because I think having that mindset for me, all or nothing, black and white, not no gray area, is kind of what kept me stagnant a lot. And so, having those sessions has been great. For me, I haven't done the VIP yet. I plan to though. I haven't done the VIP, but the retreat, oh my God, that was so life changing for me on so many levels that I don't even think I can express and explain totally here. But being able to meet some of the other ladies that came and bonding, because like I said before, I'm a very private person. I don't do vulnerability well. And sitting there and being able to just get the love and the vibes and to learn, while we're there, but also having fun and relaxing. It was a great moment for me. And even even after the workshop and learning, I had the opportunity to go out by myself and implement some of the things that I learned. It was amazing to me. Yeah, that was just great. And I think that being able to go on the retreat and meeting other ladies here, which having those relationships, some could potentially be lifelong friendships. It was also a way to learn how to connect just with people in general. And all of Prepare to Be Pursued services has taught me that it's not just about the end goal of being married or getting a man, but I can apply every aspect of the program to my everyday life, and it has definitely made it better. that it ain't about getting a man. I mean, obviously, that is the ultimately end goal, or whatever your individual goal is at the end of it. But the name of the program is what it says, right? Even the challenge says make room for Boaz. The program is prepared to be pursued. I wish that what I want them to know is that it's about you. The end goal is that I can't blame anybody else. I have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. You have to make room. And the only way that we are going to reach our goal is that we are intentional about preparing for the goal. What's the point of getting something God himself doesn't even, and I'm talking to myself right now, doesn't even give us something if we are not prepared to have it. He takes us through the preparation process in order to attain what it is that he has for us. Because if we get what he has for us without being prepared to handle it, it's liable to mess us up. And so I feel like that's really what I wish, or I want women to know about the program. Yes, the goal is the goal. Keep it in sight. But it is about preparing and making room in self. That I am, you are ready to receive the blessing. Why should you join? I'ma say it like this. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You gotta do something different to get something different, regardless of what somebody else says, regardless of how unconventional it may seem. If you want something different, you gotta do something different. Can't keep blaming society, blaming men and how they are, and you haven't taken steps to participate. You haven't taken steps to do what you need to do to get the goal that you want. So that's really why you should join. That's why women should join, because it's not only going to teach you self, it's not only going to hone in and make you more aware of what it is that you really desire. Is it your desire, or is it somebody else's desire for you? And what you need to do to get the goal. That's why you should join. You should join because what better way to do life than to invest in yourself? I know we as women, especially women, we do a lot for every woman is doing something for everybody else. Most women, I'm gonna say but most women, that's what you'll hear. We're doing for everybody else because that's what we are. We are caregivers, or we self-sacrifice, but we fail to take care of ourselves. We fail to do what it is that we desire. We always give over, or we've given over to others, but have not invested in ourselves. You should join because it's an investment in you. And if you want better, you gotta do better. If you want your goal, you gotta take the next step. You have to participate. I mean, if you took the Make the Boys challenge, Nikki told us Ruth had to participate. It wasn't going to drop out the sky. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. There's something that we all have to do. So yes, you should join. You should join Prepare to be Pursued. It is an awesome program. Every aspect of it, the support, the modules, the question and answers, the way that it's set up. It's not even about nobody else. It's not a competition. It's not you looking at somebody else and seeing how fast or how slow they're going. And that's just life, right? Life in general. It's not even about that. It's about you and your journey. Where do you want your journey to end up? What result do you want on your journey, not somebody else? And in order for you to get the result that you want on your journey, to have your dreams manifested, you got to take the step. That's why you should join.